Crystal Beasts, the greatest light in history resurrects. Meet the all-powerful Rainbow Dragon!
When I first got into playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, there was one boss monster I wanted to play above the rest. There's just something about that majestic white dragon from the anime, combined with the Crystal Beast as a whole, that just made me invested in the deck from the start. But is this monster all aesthetics and little return? Let's start by looking at Rainbow Dragon's archetype, the Crystal Beasts. The Crystal Beast lore is based on different animals that made appearances in the Roman Colosseum, combined with the 7 gemstones that Julius Caesar collected in his expeditions. The 7 gemstones all gathered to form the 7 colors of a rainbow. As far as the Crystal Beast playstyle, it is centered around the Crystal Beasts crystallizing in the spell and trap zone when they're destroyed instead of going to the graveyard. From there, the player is able to activate powerful spells, such as Rainbow Ruins and Crystal Abundance to seal out the game. The Crystal Beast deck is an anime deck, which unfortunately means that half of the cards have useless effects. Combined with their inherently passive playstyle of waiting for the opponent to destroy the beasts, the deck just isn't fast enough to keep up with the better deck choices out there. As a result, Crystal Beasts have never topped a premiere event in the history of the game. No, that one doesn't count. Given how Crystal Beasts have performed, let's now take a look at their boss monster, Rainbow Dragon. It's light, level 10 dragon effect monster with 4000 attack and 0 defense, whose text reads, "This card is always treated as an ultimate crystal card. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by having 7 Crystal Beast cards with different names on your field or in your graveyard. This card cannot activate the following effects the turn it is special summoned. Quick effect, you can send all Crystal Beast monsters you control to the graveyard. This card gains 1000 attack for each monster sent to the graveyard. You can banish all Crystal Beast monsters from your graveyard, shuffle all cards on the field into the deck." We'll talk about its Ultimate Crystal sub-archetype a bit later. Now, do you remember when I described Crystal Beast's inherently slow strategy? Imagine how many turns would have to go by in order to gather every Crystal Beast name in the graveyard in order to summon this card from your hand. There certainly is no shortcut way to do this, other than using Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus' effect as many times as possible. By the time players would get around to summoning Rainbow Dragon, they would likely already lose the duel. Not only that, but it requires deck building with the bad quote-unquote Crystal Beasts, aka the ones that provide irrelevant effects. Let's say Jesse Anderson enters a simplified game state under Mystic Mine, and manages to gather all 7 Crystal Beast names and summon Rainbow Dragon. Well, Jesse is going to have to wait for yet another turn in order to even activate Rainbow Dragon's effect, because for some unknown reason, its effects cannot activate the turn it is summoned. Sure, he gets a 4000 attack beater, but if that's what Jesse is looking for, there are better options available, such as Malefic Cyber End Dragon, or even Malefic Rainbow Dragon. But we'll give Jesse another turn because he is in fact under Mystic Mine in this scenario. With no protection from targeting or destruction, Rainbow Dragon has a tough time living through the opponent's turn. Anything from a lightning storm to a conquistador of the Golden Land could spell death for the dragon. Fortunately, Rainbow Dragon survives the opponent's turn and is ready to unleash its special effect, which just gives it more attack at the cost of its own monsters. Something worth noting is that the effect is a quick effect, which means that it could be a great option for the damage step. Not only that, but the attack gain is permanent, meaning it'll keep that throughout the opponent's next turn. That's about where the practicality stops, however, because the second effect puts the deck about 2 steps backward. By banishing all of the Crystal Beasts Jesse worked so hard to put in the graveyard, he is able to shuffle all cards on the field into the deck, including his hard-earned Rainbow Dragon. This effect is particularly disappointing because while the removal effect is extremely unique and effective, the follow-up is now non-existent since Jesse just banished his only way to summon Rainbow Dragon. And now that his Mystic Mine is gone, there's nothing stopping his opponent from playing out the next turn and winning the game. Now I know how strange this scenario was, but if you take a step back you realize that all of the odds were stacked in Jesse's favor, and he still lost. Mystic Mine allowed him to gather the 7 beasts for Rainbow Dragon before his opponent drew an out. Rainbow Dragon stuck the field for a whole turn without being destroyed, and Jesse was able to successfully resolve Rainbow Dragon's effect and shuffle the entire field into the deck. Even with all of this, it wasn't enough to make Jesse victorious. Maybe Rainbow Dragon isn't the answer, however, and we can look instead into its sub-archetype, the Ultimate Crystals. The Ultimate Crystal monsters consist of Rainbow Dragon, Rainbow Dark Dragon, and Rainbow Over Dragon. Rainbow Dark Dragon is an even worse version of Rainbow Dragon, with the one upside being that it's easier to summon in a deck like Dragon Link. Rainbow Over Dragon, on the other hand, offers a little bit more potential for the Crystal Beast archetype. It's a light level 12 dragon fusion effect monster with 4000 attack and 0 defense, which requires 7 Crystal Beast monsters for its fusion summon, and it reads, "This card is always treated as an Ultimate Crystal card. Must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by attributing 1 level 10 Ultimate Crystal monster, in which case you do not use polymerization. Once per turn, you can banish 1 Crystal Beast monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monsters until the end of this turn. Quick effect, you can tribute this fusion summoned card, shuffle all cards on the field into the deck." Already, only requiring 7 Crystal Beast monsters without the name restriction gives it more versatility and options when it comes to deck building. Its second effect offers fantastic removal in the form of a quick effect, making it a real threat. Players are also able to turn Rainbow Dragon and Rainbow Dark Dragon into this card and benefit from the attack boost effect. Keep in mind, however, that Rainbow Over Dragon would not get its second effect this way, as this summon would not be counted as a fusion summon. Even so, it's appealing to see that it can activate its effects on the turn that it is summoned. Some options to summon this card include Future Fusion, Dragon's Mirror, and, most prominently, Ultimate Crystal Magic. Ultimate Crystal Magic has its own problems, however, given that it requires all 7 Crystal Beast names and triggers off of a Crystal Beast being destroyed by battle. On the plus side, it is technically the fastest way to put Crystal Beasts in the graveyard. Because the card activates in the damage step, it's difficult for the opponent to respond to, and therefore could see some niche play in a control format. Overall, Rainbow Over Dragon is a welcome option for the Crystal Beast strategy. Sometimes, Rainbow Dragon sees competitive play as an engine requirement, rather than casual play as a boss monster. When Neos Fusion came out in Savage Strike, for example, some decks like Mech Knight Invoked were testing triple Neos Fusion with 1 Rainbow Dragon and 1 Elemental Hero Neos in order to fusion summon the powerful Rainbow Neos. This strategy saw breakout play when Predaplant Verte Anaconda was released in Dual Overload, allowing players to use the effect of Neos Fusion at virtually any point in the duel. Rainbow Dragon was suddenly being seen in topping deck lists, even though it was just an engine requirement for Rainbow Neos. Moving forward, Rainbow Dragon and Rainbow Dark Dragon will continue to be used in decks as engine requirements, as the new Rainbow Dragon, the Zenith Crystal Beast, comes to the TCG. Zenith is a light level 8 dragon effect monster with 3000 attack and 0 defense, whose effect reads, "If this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it face-up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, instead of sending it to the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Rainbow Dragon the Zenith Crystal Beast once per turn. When an attack is declared involving a Crystal Beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can banish this continuous spell, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but negate its effects, if any, and if you do, add 1 Ultimate Crystal monster from your deck to your hand." As a new Crystal Beast, it has the ability to crystallize when destroyed in the monster zone. Its first effect adds OTK potential for Crystal Beasts, being able to summon a 3000 attack body on attack declaration. It's the second effect of Zenith, however, that forever changes the ceiling for Crystal Beasts. Being able to normal summon a Sapphire Pegasus, and immediately special summon another Crystal Beast from the deck, as well as add a Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon to hand, just off of that one normal summon, is a feat that some decks could only dream of. But if you decide to watch some of my other videos, or join the Crystal Beast Duelists, you too will see how impactful Zenith is. Even in this case, Rainbow Dragon continues to act as an engine requirement, since Zenith's effect to add is mandatory. While I do believe that some players will choose to only use Zenith as a hand trap of sorts, I personally think that the power it offers in the second effect outweighs the consistency issues that come with having an ultimate crystal monster as an engine requirement. But the power versus consistency debate is nothing new to Yu-Gi-Oh! Players do have the capability of adding other cards to the deck to make the most use out of the new ultimate crystal monster in hand, whether it's enabling Chaos Space, Allure of Darkness for Rainbow Dark Dragon, or even the Nightmare monsters. Whatever the case, rest assured knowing that Rainbow Dragon will continue to see play in the future. Even if it's just as an engine requirement, it's still a surprise to see the card being played in modern tournaments. After all, who would want to summon a boss monster that loses to enemy controller?